afternoon, Heather Muirhead Brown. How are you this afternoon?
Good afternoon, Mr. Darby. I am well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad at all, you know. I don't get washed out yet, and boy, and if you're
Thankfully.
listening to what's happening to some other countries, like in Uganda, for example, I gather over 100 persons are missing. Quite a number of them have died. So, you know, the flooding has been creating havoc across the world. Climate change is a real
Climate
thing.
change is real. It is real.
As you talk about that, I guess it will affect your house too, or your real estate.
Right. We had a hurricane in June, which is so unlike what normally happens with our hurricane patterns. So the climate change is real and we have to be prepared for it.
Eh? So we have to, somebody will say, oh, I'm quite okay. And Vernon getting this lady to talk about insurance. Insurance, we have no money for give insurance, man. We can't be bothered. Waste of time, waste of money.
Actually, insurance is for people who can't afford insurance.
Well, that's it. That is interesting. Tell me more about that. I love that. Insurance for people who can't afford insurance. Tell me about that one.
If you can afford to replace your house,
Yes,
out of pocket, then you don't need insurance. So, if your house costs 20 million and you have 20 million somewhere put down to just, replace it if it's gone in a disaster, then you don't need insurance. But if you do not have that figure just sitting by in a fund to replace it, then that's why you need insurance.
and I
Peace of
wonder how
mind.
many of us in Jamaica fall into that category that we have the money putting down and sitting down, waiting for a catastrophe. So I can't find two people, in Jamaica like that. So it seems as if we need to know more about this insurance and the role that Spectrum Insurance Brokers. I must welcome you and I must congratulate you for supporting a program like this. It's a program which is all about consumers, real estate matters, you name it. So you're supporting the right program. Thank you for your support. So continue to tell us the good news.
You're most welcome. Well, we have in recent times seen a hike in insurance, in property rates,
Yes,
and mainly due to reinsurers. So the risks that are insured locally are
yes.
reinsured internationally. So the reinsurers who insure our local insurance companies have basically mandated that our property rates had to increase. As for a period of time in
Yes.
Jamaica, we've been, well, enjoying, very low property rates compared to
Mm.
the region and even to the world. So we are basically in an insurance pool, not just locally. We're in an international, regional, and international insurance pool. And you would have
Okay.
seen regionally and worldwide the catastrophes that have taken place. So this demand on the insurance pool has, caused premiums to
To go
skyrocket.
up, yes. So let me
Right.
ask you something. Although that sounds
Mhm.
catastrophic, and you talk about a pool, but suppose you're not in a pool, what happens? This whole idea of a pool, I think I've heard the term. How can we understand that? I know I can be
The-
on my own. Yes.
Well, if you buy an insurance policy, then you've bought into the pool. So
Yes,
when
yes.
if there's a catastrophe, then you have safeguarded your asset, right?
Oh.
If you haven't bought a policy, then you're outside of the pool and
You're
you're
on
on
your
your own.
own.
You've decided to take that risk for
So hold on.
yourself.
If you're on your own and you
Mhm.
don't have the 20, 30 million, that's not like a cheap house. So
Can't
if you
find
don't
that
have
right
that,
now.
it means
Uh-huh.
therefore you probably have to find a place on the streets.
Which we don't want,
I
right?
see, I
So we
see.
want we want you to have peace of mind. Insurance is about reassurance. It's about
Yes, yes.
having that safety net to when you go to your bed, you sleep well and you know that your assets are protected.
No nightmare. Mhm.
No nightmares. So in light of the increased property rates, what we at Spectrum did is we liaised with our insurance partners to come up with a package, a homeowners package that is affordable.
Yes, yes.
And the rates are affordable. And what we have also done is to organize financing for the premium. So there's really no excuse to guarantee yourself that peace of mind to ensure that your property, and if you don't own the property, because for especially for the young professionals starting out, they may not own the home, but they own contents that are in the home.
Mm-hmm.
So, these contents are valuable and they should be insured because those are
Oh,
their
I see.
assets. Right.
So when
And
the owners come for them, the loss is
Mhm.
not as great as I see.
Right. And if there's a flood, usually it's the contents that are mainly affected because the walls will, survive. But
Yes,
it's usually
the
fire
content,
and
you fight.
flooding. It's usually the contents that are destroyed.
And if
Yes.
you have a serious fire, the wall has become compromised. So that's
Cover.
going to, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is all very interesting. So all people like Vernon who saw now he say, why we not spend no money for insurance? Oh boy, that's like a lawyer who is his own lawyer. He has a fool for a client. So although I think I can take care of my property, I need people like you. But I notice you say your insurance companies, you are a broker trying to understand
Right.
that now. Yes.
So we're a broker. So there are basically 10 local insurance companies in Jamaica. And
Okay.
so what we do for our clients, we shop around among these local insurance company for
Uh-huh.
the best terms, the best rates, the best coverage for our clients. And if needs be, we go outside of the local market and go overseas to shop for our clients. So that's the job of a broker. The broker is working on behalf of the client.
No, hold on. No, I understand. So you're telling me it's like I only go to one supermarket. And when they treat me bad, I can't bother to go anywhere else, and they do treat me
You just
badly
take the
sometimes.
treatment.
Come here. So you are telling me you like if I should see you like a supermarket, I just come to you and you go and shop for me.
Right. Like how
Oh,
I used to listen to you and you're shopping in the market people telling you
oh,
the
she's a
cost of
fantastic lady. Yeah, she's
oh,
fantastic.
the lady in Papine and the lady down Coronation
Yes,
Market and yes, so she's a broker. She's a broker for your food stuff,
yes,
right?
yes.
That's what she would be, right?
So
So I'm
that's
a
why it's
broker
good
for
to go
your
to.
insurance products,
Right, because I might go to one insurance and they're not
right?
treating me well. They probably up their
Mhm.
fees, and there's another insurance company down the road who can offer me better.
Right,
Oh,
that
so
has a
you shop
competitive
around.
product. So I'm the one that will tell you about, all the products that are on the market.
Yes, they know. I didn't think I
Mhm.
was bright. That's why you're here. And many of us out there, we have university degrees, first degree and masters, and we think we know it all. But
All
guess
right.
what? When we think we know it all, that's when we end up
Mhm.
losing all.
Right.
That is beautiful.
I always like if a banker comes into our offices at
Yeah.
Spectrum, we tell them to ask all the questions because you don't know insurance. If I go into the bank, I'm going to ask all the questions because I
Yes,
don't
yes.
know banking.
I'm going to tell
So
you something to you. You say you're not a lawyer, therefore you don't know the law. I
mhm,
guarantee you that
mhm.
you know more about insurance business and probably know the law far better than the lawyers themselves.
Right. And there are times when we know the insurance company's product better
Yes,
than the insurance company themselves because we have the job to sell it to our clients. We ensure that we are so off air with their products that, we know you wake us up and we can speak insurance.
I see. And then if you're talking to a person like myself, you can say,
Mhm.
listen, I know a client. Although you probably not call me name. He's not too smart. You have to cater for him and look after him. So I'm sure you can provide feedback to them.
Right. We have to liaise between the client and the insurance company to ensure that what we're getting for the client is what suits that particular client.
Well, I tell you, I don't know if you're into sales, but you sell me. Anybody who don't get sold on this thing, I don't going to say it because I might get myself into trouble. It makes sense. Because if you have your house and you have no money put down to replace that house, and there's
Right.
a fire, there's a hurricane, flooding, you lose. Every blinking
everything.
thing, and all you can do is put your hand by your head
By your
and
head,
ball.
call and call the
But if you
government.
have you now, my hand now go on my head, I go stretch out my hand to you, and I
Right.
speak something. I
Yes.
see what you mean. No, I
Peace of
understand.
mind. Peace
Peace of
of
mind.
mind.
We have about 2 minutes, but very quickly, just tell me, we might have to go back to it. We'll come back. Tell us before we go for take a little break. Tell us what we need to do because we need to join up now, man. What I need to do.
Well, you need to either call Spectrum Insurance Brokers or visit us at 7.5 Haining Road and let us talk about covering your property, covering your
Yes,
assets. And we do all types of insurance. So I'm talking about property, but we do life, we do health, we do liability, we
yes.
do, all types. Whatever can be insured, we will insure it for you.
All right. Now I get the message, and my mother always say, those who have ears to hear, let
Let them
them
hear.
hear. All right. So it's just like people went into certain Ponzi scheme and they never hear me talk enough for them and they lost it all. See, when you hear about insurance, no, no.
Mhm.
The
This
gamblers,
is
you're
the
not gonna
one,
lose
the
house,
scheme.
right? You see, this is the thing you must get involved in,
Well,
right?
right.
Don't gamble with your house. Don't gamble like a
Yes,
Ponzi scheme, no man. Put your money
correct.
aside, so when time come, put your hand you have by your head and ball. You stretch out your hand and say, my compensation, please. When we come back, we'll talk more about what you need to do. And then I hear this big term they call average clause. That the word bigger
Okay.
than my head. When we come back, we talk more about that. And of course, we have a lady who's explained it to you in a very simple way. Heather Muirhead Brown, VP Corporate Broking and Marketing at Spectrum Insurance Brokers. I'm your friend Vernon Darby saying to you, listening to Spot On with Vernon Darby. Welcome back. You're listening to Spot On with Vernon Darby coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. Oh, yes, we're in the middle of the Caribbean Sea where we say we're little but we Talawa. So special good afternoon to our friends in New York, Miami, London, Cayman, you name it. And I know we have a few friends there in Africa. Of course, we are talking to Heather Muirhead Brown, VP Corporate Broking and Marketing at Spectrum Insurance Brokers. Our sponsors, oh yes, they sponsor this program and they know what to do. They sponsor good programs and we support good people. And therefore, she's here to give you some solid advice and information about that valuable, probably the most valuable asset that you have, your home. And without that, you'll be on the street. And she's been giving us some valuable information so far. Heather, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Darby. Happy
No,
to be here with you.
right. Now you're telling us how we can get involved. I think you have a telephone number. Tell us, email, how we can find you. And one,
Okay, we we are at 7.5 Haining Road. Numbers, we know numbers off our head
well, if you
still?
don't, you can only, I will
What we do,
get you. Yes,
I have it. It's
yes.
926-3572. That's our landline.
Just
And
give
we
that
also
again.
want 926-3572.
Right.
Right.
And
And
of
we'd love for our clients and prospective clients to follow us on our social media pages. We are Spectrum is our tagline on social media. So once you put in that, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn.
That sound like you pure young people, eh? But that's where you have to go. And I
All
will,
age ranges, all
yes.
age
And I tell
ranges.
you, don't ramp with me and think say me old. No, no,
I'm
I'm a
sure you're
young
not.
boy. Because let me tell you something. When I'm ready, when you talk to me, oh, this information is going out on social media. So
Okay.
we'll be working with you to help you because you support us. Therefore, we have
You're
no
quite
choice
savvy. You're
to
quite technologically
support you.
savvy, probably even more so than myself.
Oh, that
So,
mercy. You say, no, my head is already large, so don't make it any bigger. Right. So we now know how to find you. And let me
Mhm.
tell you something. Listeners, don't be like me. You hear me? I tell you, don't be like me at all. I had a little challenge, and guess what? I kept on putting it off and putting it off. And it nearly take me to boneyard. You hear me? I tell you no. And many of you know that. So don't say, hey, all right, I'm going to call this lady tomorrow. tomorrow never comes. When tomorrow comes, is tomorrow. So do it now. Now help me know. Um,
Right.
I hear you talk. It was somebody mentioned to me about this. What they call it, average clause or something like
Oh,
that.
the average clause,
Yes,
right.
because we don't want my money no more. I know how much me I get.
Right. And you don't want to be quarreling when the claim comes, right? Because
Yes, yes,
essentially you sell an insurance policy, you're selling the potential of the person having a claim. That's essentially
yes,
what we're selling, and that's really the proof of the pudding of the insurance policy. So we want it to work for you when you buy it.
yes,
So for property insurance, the average clause was really mandated after Hurricane Gilbert, and all those roofs were
mhm.
flying off. So what happened is that when they were assessing those claims, they realized a lot of the property was underinsured, right?
Oh, when it's
So
underinsured, then what you mean?
so your house values 20 million, right? But
Yes.
because you don't want to pay the premium commensurate with the 20 million, you decide to insure it for 10 million.
Oh, me smart. But probably not
You
so smart.
think it's smart,
I
right?
see. Yes.
So you're being penny wise but pound foolish, because you are saying to
Although I know
yourself,
you don't know about Pennywise, okay, you never born, but
your
that
background
saying
says
still stand penny wise and
why is
pound
that pound
foolish. Yes.
foolish, right?
Yes.
So you insure the $20 million house for 10 million, right? So the when the insurance company gets that policy, gets that proposal,
Yes.
because we really don't, there's no um strict requirement for you to present a valuation. If you have the
Oh,
valuation, then it is consulted. But if you do not have the valuation, insurance is based largely on good faith.
on
Because
good faith. Yes.
if somebody in Montego Bay calls and say they have a property they need to insure, then we can do the transaction over the phone. So it's done on good faith that
I
you have this
see.
house for 20 million that you're going to insure.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you decide that you're buying the policy to reflect a $10 million coverage.
Mhm.
So the insurance company assumes that, okay, you are self-insuring the other 10.
Yes.
So if you have a loss, so you have a fire, God forbid, at the house, the loss is estimated at 5 million. The
Mm-hmm.
settlement will take the format of how you insure. So you present an
Oh,
estimate of 5 million, the assessor assesses it to be truly 5 million. The
yes.
insurance company determines that their proportion of the claim is 2.5 million. Get it?
Okay. On what basis now the insurance company determines what is their portion?
It's a proportion to how you insure. So you insured
Oh,
10 million of 20, which is
yes.
50%,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So they are paying you 2.5 of the 5 million, which is 50% of the 5.
I
Get it?
see. Yes, I get it.
Right. So
Ah,
you
but
if
suppose no,
mhm,
there's another way I can be smart. I
mhm,
can, the house can be valued at 20 million. And then
right.
I say my house is valued at $90 million.
You insured for 90.
Yes. What happens
Oh.
when when it gets destroyed? That the house that is probably one broke down, mash up the house.
Well, it will be assessed to be valued the 20, and you will be paid commensurate on the 20,
Yes, yes.
not on your overestimation of
Oh,
90.
so we have
And
to be,
usually we can provide some guidance. Insurance brokers are not assessors or valuators.
yes.
And we do, we make that, proclamation clear. We are not that, but we provide guidance in
Hmm.
terms of square footage, because usually if you don't have a valuation,
Hmm.
you're pretty familiar with what your square footage is, and so we can provide some guidance
And the value
in,
of houses in a particular area and so on.
right, yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
your finishes, etc. We can provide some
So
guidance.
what you're trying to tell me, what I'm trying to outsmart you, is not going to work. And you
It's
say it's
not
done
gonna
in good
work.
faith. It's done in good faith.
It is studied good faith.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So I've learned quite a bit. I've learned what to do, how to make contact. Yes, I learned about the average clause and that you have the contents of the house that you can insure. Um,
Right.
but I know there are some things that I need to have if I'm going to come to you now. I think I need to have my, we call it TRN, no? But you still come with ID, they
Right.
still come with ID, you know
Cheer.
what I think. Oh, by the way,
Also,
that is
you'll get.
something I must tell you. I've been fighting for probably over 30 odd years.
Okay, and probably that's another conversation we can have because
Yes.
I keep wondering why we couldn't upgrade the TRN.
Oh,
But
I'd love to have that conversation. So we don't have a long talk. I will just simply tell you, when you have a
Mhm.
mash dog, since you don't understand the hosting, if you have
Yes.
a house that termite them out the whole of it, and all you're going to
Hmm.
do is paint it up, you know what to do? You better lick it down and build a new one. That's a simple way to
Oh,
put it. And I'm correct.
so
Because a
yeah, but
different
we're
system,
still going to have the TRN, aren't we?
because the tier, no, if you are going to have a tier, then something is wrong. You should not
Oh.
need a TRN. You should not need a birth certificate number. I'm speaking for myself, not for them. I'm sure that
Mm-hmm.
should be no your means of. I guess you can still apply for it, but after a while, because you
Mm-hmm.
can't enforce it right now. Um,
Right.
but when you have your TRN, you should need anything else. And I'm praying
When
for
you
the day.
have when you have the not the
The
needs,
ID, the needs, right, right.
right, you
Mm.
should. Okay.
That,
Well,
because don't
I
forget,
think.
the thing with the TRN, no, you'll be
Mhm.
the needs, you'll be uniquely identified by your biometrics. But with
Mhm.
TRN, you can have two persons, one person having two or three TRN. You never can tell. And by those try and look at things and make sure you get two. But with the national ID, you only can only have one.
Right,
So
right, right.
those are the kind
So,
of
I
things
mean, hopefully,
discrepancy.
because, hopefully there is that connecting
Yes, yes.
not because, we are still where we're not connected from the tax office to the depot to the passport office. So hopefully there can be some connection there.
And can there has to
Hmm.
be, and guess what? When you have the connection, I got into
Hmm.
something else, but no problem. When you have the connection, and Vernon Darby think he's smart, and he
Hmm.
goes to your company, and you say what? In utmost what? Good faith, and I mislead you. It's very easy for other persons to know that you misled one company because when you go with the same TRN or the same needs, which can
Needs.
uniquely identify you, or
Hmm.
you try to do a local bandulu business, try get one. No? You go to the hospital, you're going to need that. You go any financial thing to any financial transaction, you're going to need that. What I think. Oh, by the way, there's one thing I have to
Hmm.
ask before you go, because we all think we're smart. Can we
Uh-huh.
build a house on
Hmm.
somebody else's land, or just capture the land, build a house, and insure it?
Well, you couldn't have. I don't want to get into the legal aspect
All
of
right,
that
all right, okay, fine.
because
Don't
that
bother if you don't
is
want to get into it. Uh-huh.
right. That is land legality that I'm not qualified to speak on. But as I say, we do insurance on
Yes,
good
yes.
faith. I'm sure some legal ramifications would come up in the time of a claim. So you could actually
All right.
insure
I
it,
tell you
but
what,
whether or
you can
not,
insure it, but when the owner come and lick
when
it
the
down, can
claim
you go claim?
right.
Can you go claim when you broke the law?
Uh,
So we can look at that
so
at
that's
another time.
that's a great hypothesis there. But
And we'll talk
yeah.
more. You check on that and so on. I will get the legal. As I said, you don't know lawyer.
Right.
Me go like me a lawyer.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
sure you can test the best of them. But I do know
you see,
insurance
you're
law,
saying
but not
something with this true.
real
And
estate
you get to
law.
meet the trouble. Last time I was somewhere with four lawyers and I told them
Mhm.
something about that. I would they're probably listening. And the chairman said to them, Mr. Darby, these are lawyers. I simply said to them, I am Vernon Darby. And guess what? Time proved that I was correct. So you stay there. And I'm learning a lot. When you think when you come on this program, I'm not listening and learning. What do you think you're here for? My listeners are
Right.
learning, and I am learning. Listener,
That
I
is
want to
it.
thank you very much. And we have to have you again, man, because boy, we have far more to learn. So thank you very much. Just remind us so we can make contact with you again and you're where you are located on social
Thank
media.
you for having me too. So we're Spectrum Insurance
Yes.
Brokers and we're at 7.5 Haining Road. And our number is 9263572. And of course, we are on all social media platforms. We are Spectrum is a tagline that you search with. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. So just link us up and we'll provide that peace of mind you need for your property, all property, your life, your health, all things insurance.
And thank you very much, yes, and Spectrum for supporting this program. And I must tell you, I don't only come on air, you'll be surprised. After I leave this program, I'm out there helping people, getting messages and giving advice and so on. But I'm no
Nice,
lawyer. Let
nice.
me just remind everybody of that. So I keep on doing the work. When I finish now, I get all of this documented and to be out there for all to see. So those who miss it, you'll get to watch this lovely program and this beautiful lady. Thank you very much. Head up your head, bro.